corner. Bo sliding like Bo do. You know what I'm saying?
He saw the blue lights. He was out of there. And look, don't get me wrong. If there was no one in the way, he would have been slick with it. But
he would have been slick with it. And I seen someone that made the comment that was like, that's the first time I've ever seen a pit maneuver, attempted and successful on the first time. It really wasn't that good. Compared to Arkansas's state troopers, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but...
Well, what happened? What happened was, old boy did not mean to hit those people. Because that was the thing. He meant to run, but the hitting the people was a complete accident. And after that, you could kind of see he gave up. He kind of like let off the gas because the cop kind of. I'm not trying to take anything away from the cop, but it seemed like the guy gave up.
You see him throw his hands up.
Right. While he was getting finally pit maneuvered, you could see his hands were up the whole time he was getting pit maneuvered. So I think it was kind of, he didn't even mean to do that.
Was he giving up though, or was he just kind of knows what happens in those situations? So he tried to give himself up to pretty much make sure he don't get the beating that he knows he's going to end up getting from them cops snatching him out that vehicle. But what was you even running from? A ticket? So you probably gonna get a little ticket, but then you sling the truck around and damn near kill somebody. So a $200 ticket turned into 25 years in prison.
Well, and that's another thing. He was just I forgot what I was gonna say, to be honest. But no, he was showing out is what it was.
I've seen a couple of them. They trying to make him out like a hero, the cop, because he jumped up there with the aggression that he did, snatched him out of the vehicle, this and that.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. He was fucking in charge. Because I've seen a couple of different angles, and
he pulled him up out of there.
And he was pissed. Like you could tell the cop was pissed, bro. Like it was like almost personal.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Well, most cops do that. They'll take it personal. They'll be like, "Oh, you ran for me in my city, blah blah blah," and it's like it's really not even that deep, because really when you have them cops, they get that emotionally invested. They end up doing something that's going to cost themselves their life and cost somebody else their life. Like, yeah, everyone's human, but what people fail to realize as cops is you can't give everyone that excuse, because not everyone's in the same position. If you give a cop the excuse of, oh, he's human, he's gonna let his emotions get involved, well, you're basically just co-signing for them to do what they're doing, like to continue beating on people, continue to make false arrests, just harass people all the way around. You're supposed to serve and protect the community, but in all reality, people in the community, they don't truly understand how much PTSD you really have from going through a messed up ass system. Like anytime you see blue lights or a cop car, after you've had some sort of trouble in your life, whether it be big or little, people have PTSD to where them blue lights will literally make you sick, and you'll start doing some crazy stuff to get away from it.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's a real thing.
Yeah, PTSD that comes with it, man. Like, yeah, and that's the thing. You can say, oh, well, you put yourself in those positions to be messed with and this and that. Okay. But what's the excuse for an 18-year-old that messes up, makes a little simple mistake, a possession charge? He's got a little bit of weed on him. So you're going to take this kid, put him through the system, put him through a probation, make him pay all this money just because he had a little bit of weed on him? Knowing you're probably, now that he's on this probation, you're probably going to jam him up on something else. It always happens. It's a system that they continue to repeat you in. They want the money. They don't really care. Yeah, they don't care if you're rehabilitated or if you're better than when you started the system. All they care about is the money. That's why in a lot of the probation systems, you can actually pay. They'll come and tell you like, oh, well, we'll let you off your probation 3 months early because you paid up all your fines. Okay, why? If my probation is to teach me a lesson, why do I get off of it early just because I paid you all your money? If that don't scream rigged system for finances, I don't know what does. Like,
almost like money has an influence.
definitely. Like, if you look at the prison systems, man, a lot of these record label owners actually own the private prisons, to where I can't remember which guy it was out of Bone Thugs and Harmony, but he came out and did an interview and was telling the story basically how they were invited to this big party back in like the 80s, 90s, and it was this huge event with like all these big executives there, right? And they had to sign an NDA, or they were supposed to sign an NDA when they went in. And basically, moral of the story is like they told them, hey, your record labels own huge stocks in these private prisons, so we need you to push this music to fill these prisons. Basically, they was telling them like, if these prisons make money, your label makes money, you make money. So if you can continue to fill these kids' heads with all this bullshit and make them think that all this rah-rah is cool, you'll lead them right to the prison walls where we need them to be, and it'll go right into your pocket. And that's why they target shit the way that they do. And they sit here and say, oh, you know, like the whole race thing. Oh, minorities commit more crimes. Okay, well let's look at that. You have the main genre of music that's listened to in those communities, and those are the main ones that you are pushing all this bad stuff into. You've got people like Meek Mill coming out just straight up telling you, yeah, we get paid more money if we put this bullshit in our song and make you want to do something. There's a reason that all these rappers is talking about killing and drug dealing, and those are the biggest ones, because they're feeding that negative into the communities. Therefore, they're building themselves up with the record label. It's basically like selling your soul. It's without physically doing it. You're just simply selling your people down the river just for a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You know, like
being a vicious cycle.
Definitely. But it's like it jumped genres though. Because that's the thing is everybody looks at rap. Nobody really honestly looks at how bad country music can be. They sit here and say, oh well, rap music promotes kids to smoke weed and drink alcohol and do this and do that. So does country music. You'll have Jason Aldean talking about rolling one up, smoke something, but it's just the terminology is different. Where a rapper will come out and straight up tell you, I'm about to go roll this blunt, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah.
This country dude says, what's one song? He's a little more high in my smoke now. He's talking about marijuana. But because of how he worded it, it's not like, hey,
right,
I smoke
like
weed.
The delivery.
Exactly. So,
right.
So you can't even say that it's just one genre influences people, because they just do it in a different way.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. It's the delivery and the nostalgia around the person as well. You know, I mean, when rappers do it, it's kind of expected. which is like weird. Like it's kind of expected, but in like a I don't know, like a illegal bad way, and
I'll tell you,
others.
I'll tell you what it kind of looks like, man. It kind of looks like they had the system structured to where rap music is pushed, and although multiple races listen to hip hop, it's predominantly black. So you have this music putting people in jail, but then you have these country singers turning people into slaves for the government, right? Because you hear what country music glorifies as being a good old country boy, blue collar, going to work, coming home to your wife. What are they doing? They're just putting you in the system, in the matrix. They're just telling you, hey, follow this line. Just follow this line, because we need y'all to build what we want to own. And we need them in the prisons, therefore we'll make money off of them, and we'll just roll it into this. And it's just all a big cycle of keeping everybody in the chokehold. And that's the thing is, people look at it and say, oh, black versus white. It is not black versus white. It is total class. It is class. Because I've seen so many TikToks and little videos talking about, oh, growing up black. And I'll be damned if 5 out of the 6 things my mama didn't do. Because we're from more of a struggle. It's not
No,
it's not that your parent
that's-
was black that she did that. Your mama was on a lower budget, ghetto, whatever the fuck. My mama was ghetto. That's just how you grow up. It has nothing to do with race.
No, it's
They just make you think
it's exactly
race.
class. No, that's exactly what it is. You know, my parents they did okay when they were together, but then when they divorced, both of them, you know, went on hard times, and you know, in shorter terms, shit got real.
Yeah, well,
You know,
definitely.
like-
Well, that's the thing is people always holler white privilege. I've never gotten any. Never have I gotten any white privilege. I come from an area where they know my dad for getting locked up and doing messed up shit. So therefore, I'm already classified as you know, I'm gonna follow in them shoes.
Right.
They already got eyes on me. They're like, oh yeah, we already know he gonna mess up. He gonna be down the road with his
Right.
dad. So it's people just need to kind of open their eyes and realize, like, man, you go to any hood in America, there's white folks, there's Mexicans. What, regardless if it's predominantly black or what it is, there's a mix of people.
Mhm.
It's never really fully one race. And once people start realizing that, and that's the thing, they don't want people to realize that because you've got a lot more lower class than you got middle class, and you got a lot more middle and lower class, way more than the top.
Mhm.
So they already know once it all is formed together, then it's just
You're right. No.
it's inevitable that it's gonna crash from that point.
Exactly.
When people wake up and actually start getting smart on it.
When too many people get out of the matrix, it's gonna be dangerous. But you know, well, and I think honestly, like with as much notoriety as this with the new, what is it, Anthony?
Anthony Oliver.
Yeah, that guy. With the notoriety that's gotten, I think it just shows how much, like, or how many people really, like, you know, have their eyes open to, like, what the government, what are.
I really stand on the fact that he's a plant. Timing and coincidences is a thing that I don't believe in no coincidence. I kind of think that everything is done for a strategic reason behind something, and it just don't sit right with me that this dude comes out with this song, it blows up, right? Good song, you know, great message behind it. But at the same time, a couple weeks later, you have